What if Buffalo gets first, guys? I'm gonna be. There are now 5 legitimate teams that could make the playoffs next year, but one of them cannot make it. Who is that team? Let's find out right now, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, guys. It really does help it a lot. Let's get straight into this video. Comment down below who in the Atlantic Division will not make playoffs and who do you think will make playoffs. Let's talk down below. Let's do this, baby. Hit a like and subscribe while you're down there. Let's do this, baby. Yeah, I'm talking to you. All right, guys, let's look at this Atlantic Division. We know the teams in there. We know the top teams. We know the bad teams. Montreal. Sorry. Boston, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Florida, Buffalo, Detroit. 5 teams that have potentially to make the playoffs next year. But statistically, either 1 or 2 of them are not going to make it because this division is so stacked, but so is the Metropolitan, and only 8 teams can make it. And this playoffs, this next season is going to be so nuts because a couple of these teams do not have a chance of making it. Obviously, let's get out of the way here. The 2 bad teams in this division, Montreal Canadiens, Ottawa Senators. But if we look on paper here, Ottawa Senators are not that bad at hockey, right? They have a good roster on paper, but for some reason, they just do not mesh well together. And they're just playing really bad hockey, bad brand of hockey. Who, like the goaltender, they have their goaltender now, Korpisalo. Is he good enough? Who knows? But they really do. They have good players on paper, guys. Shabbat, Brady Tkachuk, Tim Stutzla, Chychrun. This team is really good on paper, but for some reason, they just don't mesh well together. So will they do that next year? I think they will be better than last season. But can they make playoffs? I'm not putting them a part of this push, but in the near future, it is definitely a possibility. Hey, maybe if Korpisalo turns to Vasilevsky, we could have a different story. I might look stupid. I might look like a clown, but hey, I'll take that risk when I can. Number 8, definitely the bottom of the division, is going to be the Montreal Canadiens. They're not a good hockey team. Let's be real here. They're still rebuilding. I don't like the job fix they did. Is Ryan Backer going to be good? Is Slavkovsky going to take the next step? Even though I don't really think he's that good. But they do have some good players. Can Cole Caulfield stay healthy? Nick Suzuki keep carrying the team. They have a lot of good players. Can they put it all together? I don't think so. This next year, give them maybe 30 more years. Okay, let's get off those teams. Let's talk about the main teams we all came here for. The Detroit Red Wings just traded for Alex DeBrincat, right? Very good player. 40 goal scorer. Obviously did not do good last year on Ottawa. But that was, I don't think it was expected, but they just didn't mesh well together. I've said that before. They just didn't really, I feel like they didn't really care. I don't know. Ottawa was a complete mess last year. So you got to take that season for DeBrincat with a grain of salt. You can't put that all on him. He is playing where he wants to play. He was born in Michigan. Now he's playing in Michigan. So it's definitely a boost of morale. So can him and Larkin get some good chemistry together? Maybe even Perron on his line. Can Raymond take the next step? Can Sider take the next step? They have a lot of good players. Husso needs to stay good, or they have no chance, if I'm being honest with you. But Detroit has a good chance, guys. They really do have a good chance. But are they better than these last couple teams here? Buffalo Sabres, they surprised all of us last year, barely missing out playoffs by 1 point. 1 point of the Florida Panthers made the cup finals, which is crazy. Could have been Buffalo, right? But they missed it by 1 point. And this young team is only getting better, guys. This team is only getting better. Owen Power is just going to take the next step. Dahlin's going to take the next step. They have a lot of young players that are going to take the next step. Goaltender situation, is Levi going to take the next step? Is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen going to take the next step? Who knows? But Buffalo, guys, are looking good, man. They're looking good in the future because a couple of these teams in this division are getting a bit older, guys. They're getting a bit older. So Buffalo could be the future of this division. But can they make playoffs this next year? That's all we care about. We don't care about 3 and 4 years. We're talking next season. Can they do it? I don't really know, guys. Florida Panthers, Stanley Cup Finals appearance. They did obviously lose. They had a lot of injuries, but this team did get better in the offseason. So can they recreate what they did this year? It's going to be tough, but if Bobrovsky can do what he did last year in the playoffs, anything could happen, guys. Can he do it? I don't really know, man. Can he really do it at this age? I think he can. But can he do it for a long period of time? Who really knows? Hopefully Spencer Knight can also get back to his former self. Hopefully he's all healthy and good. But the Florida Panthers are a wagon as well, guys. They're not something to look lightly on. Tampa Bay Lightning, they went to 3 Stanley Cups in a row. Obviously, they won 2, lost 1. But finally last year, they lost in the first round and got some rest early in the summer, which is kind of scary for the NHL, guys, because they still have all these superstar players. Stamkos, Kucherov, Point, Vasilevsky, Hedman. Yeah, they still have all those guys, and now they are more rested for the season, and they're probably more ready to go than ever, which is scary for the NHL, guys. Scary for this division. Look at these teams I've just named, guys. All these guys have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, but 2 of them or 1 of them probably can't. That is just so crazy with me, guys. Toronto Maple Leafs, they made it to the second round finally did it. Did this team get better? Obviously, I made a video earlier, a couple weeks ago or earlier this week, whatever, on if they're actually a better team or not. It's a hit or miss. Offense got better, defense got worse. Is that okay with Toronto? I don't really know, because their brand of hockey is straight offense. I don't know if you really want your defense getting worse because you're letting in 7 goals a game. But hey, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Obviously, a lot of things could still change here. But Toronto, I think they're better and worse. Who knows if it's for the better or not for them winning games? I don't really know. But once again, they're going to make playoffs. They're a wagon. They're a wagon. You're not missing playoffs with Austin Matthews. Last one, the Boston Bruins, who broke the NHL record, 65 wins last year. Can they do that again? The quick answer is no, they cannot do that. They cannot do that again. But are they still a wagon? Are they still a wagon? I think they're a wagon still. Bergeron, is he going to come back? No, probably not. Are they the same team as last year? No, I think they got pretty worse, if I'm being honest with you. They lost a lot of depth on their team. But obviously they signed a lot of depth. I think they lost more skill than they re-signed, which is not really good for the Bruins, if I'm being honest with you. But they're still a good team. Can Ullmark do what he did last year? I don't really know. We'll see what the Bruins are going to do. But look at all these teams I just named, guys. You can literally name a reason for all of them to make playoffs. Even Ottawa somehow. Montreal, get out of here. Even Ottawa has a slight chance to make the playoffs. But these teams, guys, look at this. Like, it's just so nuts that this is just one division. Like, can we just like break them up, give some to the Pacific, give some to the Central, because they need some, man. They need some. Like, they need some help over there. They need some help over there. So, okay, let's rank them, guys. Let's rank them 1 through 8. Let's go actually 1 through 7, because we already know Montreal's locked at 8. You're locked. We'll see you next lottery draft, man. We'll see you next lottery draft. 1 through 7. Sorry, Montreal. I'm sorry. It's just a joke. Obviously, Montreal's number 8. They're not ready yet. We already been through this. They're not ready yet. Give them a couple years, maybe 40. Number 7, I'm gonna say Ottawa. Ottawa at 7 is a lock. They have a lot of good players on paper, but you don't play hockey on paper. Like I said this before, you don't play hockey on paper. And Ottawa, new owners. I just think it's gonna be a mess of a season. Korpisalo is gonna do solid, then fall off. Then the team's just gonna go flat. Number 6. This is tough, boys. This is tough. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say Buffalo. For some reason, I'm going Buffalo. Even if I'm being honest, Detroit should be there. But I'm gonna go bold here and say Buffalo gets 6th in the division. I think they have a little worse of a year. They're still gonna be a good team. I think something's gonna go wrong, and they're just not gonna be good enough. I just think that's gonna happen. I don't think they'll make playoffs. I think they'll miss it by 9-10 points, and I think they'll have a little worse of a year. A little downfall in organization for something, and that's my reasoning. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, comment down below if I'm stupid, probably. But that means the Detroit Red Wings are gonna be 5. I don't think they'll make playoffs. DeBrincat's gonna be a great acquisition. Make sure to check out the video I just posted yesterday. But he's a great acquisition, great piece. Hopefully he can rekindle his career, get 40 goals again on Detroit. I think he can do it with Larkin. I think they need a couple more years. They do have sneaky depth, though. Let's be real. They have sneaky depth on this team, defense and up front. Hopefully if Husso is really, really good and turns into like a Vasilevsky or like a Shesterkin, Sorokin, can play like that, or even like an Oettinger, this team could be lethal. But obviously I don't see that happening. But I think the Red Wings are going to be better than we think. I think DeBrincat's going to be a really, really good acquisition for this team. And he's going to score a lot of goals for this Red Wings team. And they're not going to be a very easy team to play against. So I think this team's going to go 5th. And they're going to miss the playoffs by 4 points. I'm going to say 4 points. That means 1 through 4 are the same playoff teams. That's kind of boring. I get it. But 4th in the division, I'm going to say the Boston Bruins. are 4th. I think they fall all the way down from 1st to 4th. I think this team got progressively pretty worse, actually. I think they lost a lot of their top players. Obviously, they still have Pastrnak, they still have Marchand. They still have McAvoy in the back end. They still have a lot of good players. But they lost Bertuzzi, man. They lost Taylor Hall, man. They lost a lot of their depth players. And they really didn't get those goals back from free agency, if I'm being honest with you. So hopefully they can keep it up. Maybe McAvoy can, hopefully Pastrnak can score 60 again. But I think this team gets worse. I don't think they get 1st in the division. I honestly think it's pretty obvious they're not going to get 1st in the division. So I'm going to say they fall all the way to 4th. That means 3rd place will be the Florida Panthers. The Stanley Cup Finals appearance. This team got better, man. This team really did get better. Obviously, they lost a couple players in free agency, but this team is still a wagon. Can Bobrovsky do his thing? I don't really know. We'll see if he can, but this team is so really, really good. Matthew Tkachuk is really, really good. He's going to score 100+ points again, and this team has a lot of depth still. A lot of depth, and this team they're fighters, man. They're warriors. They're just gonna keep going until they have to stop and they really can't go anymore. So that is number 3. Number 2 is between the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm gonna say the Tampa Bay Lightning are gonna be second in the division. They're gonna have a lot of rest that they haven't had in the last 3 years, and that really does play a factor to these players, guys. You don't understand these players playing all summer for the Stanley Cup playoffs, going to the Cup Finals, then only having a couple months off during summer. That is really brutal on the body, especially 3 years in a row. That is absolutely nuts. This team did get worse in the offseason, I get it, but they still have all these superstars, man. They lost a couple of good players, Kaloran, Colton, I get it. They still, and even Pat Maroon and Corey Perry, they lost a lot of their depth. Even Pierre Belmar or whatever, they lost a lot of their depth, but they still are a really good team. I would not be surprised if they fall down to 4th or whatever, but I just can't bet against these superstars, man. I really can't bet against these superstars. That means the Toronto Maple Leafs are first. That is kind of scary, man, because this team is hit or miss, if I'm being honest with you. They're really hit or miss. I would not be surprised if Florida gets first, if I'm being honest with you guys. What if Buffalo gets first, guys? That'd be crazy. But it is anything's possible. But I'm gonna say Toronto is first. I think they're a wagon. Toronto, Austin Matthews, Marner, Nylander, is he gonna be there? I don't really know. Tavares, still really good, and Riley, really good. Goaltender situation, kind of iffy. That's like on every Canadian team basically. But this team is really good, man. So I'm gonna say Toronto gets first. But literally any of these 6 teams could get first in the division, guys. It's so nuts. But yeah, comment below what you think. This division is wide open. Anyone can win. Anyone can lose. Anyone can win playoffs. Anyone can make the Stanley Cup Finals. Anyone can do anything. Let me know down below what you think. That is my list for now. I'll change it next week because that's what I do. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. It really does mean a lot to me. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe, guys, if you guys didn't enjoy it all. I post every single day, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. It really does help a lot. So once again, guys, be great. I'll see you guys later.